just like a stranger. I'll be getting here, started here shortly. Gotta get into my vibe, man. Look at all these candles that have melted into this little. What do you think? Let's call out. Alright. It's not windy right here now, so that's something for you guys. Maybe a little flame. This stuff is really good, by the way. If you're into flour, I happen to like that one myself. And I wouldn't say I'm a snob about it, but you know. The other day I got some stuff from the dispensary. It was not a medical dispensary, but it was still a dispensary, and it's something I had had before, but it was not very good. Do you know what I mean? So, just saying. This also I got today at my local dispensary. This one happens to be Slurry Crasher, and it's an infused. This is like literally what got me kicked out of Alabama. Not even joking. Like, they asked me to leave the campground. I wasn't even smoking outside of my camper or nothing. Nothing. Okay? And they confiscated my Slurry Crasher weed that I had at the time. Alabama! Just saying. I don't live in Alabama, obviously, because I have a medical card. But if you live in Alabama, they might haul you in for this shit. I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So, especially if you're somebody from out of the country and you come over to the United States and you think everywhere in the United States is the same, it's not. Know your local laws, okay? Like they say, ignorance is no excuse. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. So, I'm just saying. At least they didn't throw me in some, stupid horse jail down in Alabama. Do you know what I mean? Sure, they got plenty of those around. It was a very nice campground also. I was happy to be there, but obviously not when they decided to throw me out. And my little dog, too, if you can believe that. I mean, I was reserved for 2 nights. I didn't even get my money back. They didn't even give me my money back. Which they probably, that's probably some scam that they do to out-of-state people. And they're like, let's shake them down and then we won't give their money back and we'll intimidate them and take all their stuff. Right? It's a whole shakedown out there, folks. Isn't it? And the ones shaking you down, they don't want you to know it. Oh! You know what I just watched the other day on TV? It was horrible. This lady, it was like she was moving into some apartment and her friend was helping her move in, and they got into an altercation with some folks out in the neighborhood, and the dude just shot the guy that was helping her move in. Do you know what I'm saying? There's other people that act first, right? And oftentimes with devastating results, collective. So, yes, it is in your best interest to protect yourself. Don't walk around out there naively, right? Thinking everybody has your best interest. See, these are how those high supply ones look. I really like how they changed the little filter on them now. So it's just like, they make these styles more out like in Arizona as well. Probably California and Colorado did too, but I noticed them out in Arizona the last time I was there. Not necessarily this brand, but just the way. So with the infused, this one says total cannabinoids are 40.43%, with the THCA being 38%, the actual THC content just over 1%. So even though this is infused and very strong, psychoactively it might not, have that effect on you, especially if you're using it for medicinal purposes. Because it's kind of like, when you take a Tylenol, it just knows where to go and it makes your body feel better, right? This just happens to be in a smokable product. All right. Okay. That's our dispensary lesson for the day. All right.
Yes, I'm still Gary Lambert, and yes, this is still the Grateful Dead.
Since I have on the Deadhead channel in the background, I might as well use the Family Fam deck today. And what else? Y'all, I've been going through these decks like crazy. I really need to put some decks on like my wish list. You know what I mean?
In August of 1979, had to be moved indoors to McNichols Arena in nearby Denver due to torrential rain, thunder, and lightning. But they did make it unscathed through opening night, August 12, 1979.
So this one is the Animal Oracle. Okay.
This is Looks Like Rain.
One of my favorites.
Built inside of bed. The covers were still warm. Where you been laying? You were gone. My heart was still with you.
Here again. It's alright, 'cause I love you. That's not gonna change. Spin me round, make me hurt again and again.
But I still sing you a song. Ribs on the car, falling short. Did you ever wait until the sun?
Three cats making love.
Yes, from that cry. Where do you go?
Oh,
He's just the last thing that left behind. They're only trying to make it through the night.
it's one of those lemonades of the Sun Cruiser. It's no bubbles, but it's good. I think it's stevia sweetener. So I think that means it's diabetic friendly, right? If you use stevia. King of Swords came out in one of the last reads, so. That's not gonna change. Roll me around, make me hurt again and again. For months, still sing you love songs written in the letters of your name. Surely looks like rain. We could use some rain. We could use some rain. Just not on the 4th of July, right? I feel like you're on the Verge Collective, this temperance card here. Yeah. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Surely looks like rain. By the way, my name is Stephanie Lynn Theobald. I was born in 1978. I am an intuitive. You could say psychic, mediumship, clairaudience, okay? Using my clairs, including clairvoyance, that is your third eye, using your vision. Looks like rain, it feels like rain. And I use the tarot to help communicate that in digestible messages. Look at that! Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, here comes the rain. It's gonna be raining money. Yeah, make it rain! Hey! Who doesn't want that? Right? I'm all about that. Yeah, I got a mower repair to pay for. Yeah, I want. Give me that money. Give me that money. I got things to do.
I'm Mickey Hart.
So 8 of Swords with this Raven shamanic thing. People wanted to see you all wrapped up and you're not. And they're like, how'd they do that? They're like, Houdini, man. Right. And no, that's not the weed. That's their little pea brains, how they think. Because they're like, how'd they do that? How'd they? Well, for one. Right. You know, it helps when you're not getting arrested every other day, right? You ever see the rap sheet on these folks? And you know, you ever notice how they always come out with a little slap on the wrist, but yet they keep getting back out there, right? On the streets to do all sorts of business? Ask yourself again, don't be naive. Who's benefiting from them doing that? Because it's not you, but somebody's benefiting. What kind of organization? Well, I guess you could say it could be an NGO, a non-governmental organization who's benefiting. Right? I mean, if they're not working for the cops or the feds or the DEA or one of these, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be working for somebody. They wanted you to be all wrapped up in it with them. And you're like, what are you talking about? Because collective, you know how to play by the rules. And to other people, that is a foreign concept because they don't operate in that manner. That's why they're seeing you as a shaman. Because they see you getting this blessing, this Ace of Pentacles. They're like, how are they getting that? How are they getting that? Well, you know, maybe they were showing up every day for work, reporting for duty, punching that clock. Yeah, eventually that's going to pay off, isn't it? Isn't it? I mean, I saw one of my, this is so odd too, like somebody I actually met from the internet, like a friend, you know, we've actually met in person a couple times and done a couple things, you know, in person together. But like, I saw she was recently working somewhere where she was going to be getting, you know, like an increase, right? Because, you know, sometimes people, you know, have a hard time, you know, finding the right spot or whatever. And it was like, I saw that and I was like, hey, that is good for her. You know what I mean? That's the spot to be at, right? Let that money flow. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid to step into success. That's why so many people sabotage themselves, because they're afraid to cross that threshold, right? And you're right here at the doorway. You've been patient. You've been holding steady. Okay, steady as she goes, right? There's also a band called The Hold Steady. I can't think of the name of their song right now, but, you know I've heard them on the radio. Anyway. So yeah, because you've been holding on your vision, this, you know, wild manifestation that you've had, right? Using your third eye. Maybe you've been doing a vision board, you know. Maybe you're not the type of person who's very artistic. You know, maybe you can't draw a straight line. You can't draw a circle. You know, all these things, right? But maybe you can collage, okay? Maybe you can photograph, right? And then put those photographs together of thinking about what you want to manifest, okay? What does that perfect holiday storybook, you know, fairy tale look like for you? I was watching somebody comment on the Amazon lady bride that like at 55, you know, had this, and it was like her second wedding, and she had this big hold to do overseas, and you know what I mean? There are no rules anymore, right? It's about who you're around and willing to be around, right? And are those the goals that are aligning with you, right? And that was part of the King of Swords from the reading previously, and him coming out is kind of that, you know, it's very direct, you know, and you see him showing up here with the spade, and it's almost like one of these things where it's like he's that teacher that's tired of working alone, you know, tired of lecturing the students. It's like, I have to come here one more day and tell you guys the same thing, right? It's giving that kind of, because he's over here putting in the work. That's why he's a king. Okay. Look at this. Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, collective. Again, this is Leo energy. So Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Look at this. The Sun card, again, Leo energy. So I just did a bonus reading for love reading for Cancers the other day, and this is giving that Leo, all right, which comes after Cancer. So in the next month, right, in August, we will be getting into that, right? Okay. So I feel like you're letting things come to you, like you're letting things flow to you. All right. Yeah. So some of these cards up here, Dragon, Supernatural, you might be feeling very supernatural. Other people might be viewing you as a supernatural being because you're able to accomplish what they cannot accomplish. But collective, some of the things you know are very basic that other people don't want to do. Right? It's kind of that whole like, oh, how are we going to lose weight? Right? A lot of us know what the basics are, but yet, for whatever reason, we choose to do other things. Okay? And that's not to blame anybody. I've had my own ups and downs, and especially when I was in a sedentary job. You know what I mean? You have to kind of push yourself and motivate yourself, right? Right, that maybe we've taken for granted in the past. It's not that you can't have them again, but it still requires effort. Still is, digging the spade or whatever, using the spade. I remember when my neighbor, when they got a pool, and I went over there, and when they were making it, I was a little kid, like I don't even think I was 12 years old yet. The neighbor guy was like, well, if you want to swim in it, you have to help dig this. And I was like, thinking like, I don't know how to do it. I think I like pushed the shovel in like 2 inches and I was like out of there, and I thought, well, I don't need to pull this bad, you know what I mean? Which I don't know if I did ever go over there to swim or not, but like I said, that was so long ago. Anyway. So collective, yeah, you may be tapping into your authenticity. Hi Tony, how are you doing? Yeah, it's kind of that you're not ashamed of who you are, right? Some people be like, you show up like, I have a little bit of cleavage today. Some people be like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Well, where am I? I'm a female. Where you think I'm supposed to put them? Or if you got a little badonkadonk or whatever, and you're around all these people that look like this and you're feeling out of place, it's like, well, God gave you that body, okay? So it's like, where else is it supposed to go? You know what I mean? So, there's taking care of yourself, right? And then there's criticizing yourself to the point where it's like, it doesn't even make sense anymore, okay? All right, so I feel like there's a level of self-acceptance here, collective, with this authenticity. A penguin's a penguin. They're going to live in certain places. You don't want to live there, don't date a penguin. Just saying. Right? Like, what do you want to do? Okay. Here it says, reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength. Okay, we do have a holiday coming up as well. That's kind of giving like the fireworks energy here. So do be careful, right? Right. I know some folks that have had some accidents, okay? Thankfully none of like where they've perished, but they require trips to the ER and things did not look the same afterwards. Okay, so I'm just saying, be careful. All right. Okay. So yeah, this links, keeper of secrets, take time out from the world and be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowing. You see other secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. Okay, you may listen to music a lot, podcasts, maybe some motivational things. Sometimes people listen to, subliminal messages while they're sleeping, right? Or like rain sounds. They have also those sleep sound machines out there that you can buy at the store, right? You don't necessarily have to use your phone and wear the battery down all night, right? You can have a little... your smart speaker could probably do that for you too. I often ask it to play like ocean sounds, because the ocean is a place where I feel calm and peaceful, right? And kind of it's just a fun sound to me. Okay. And I still have it. It's not in my house. Actually, it's at my parents' house. Actually, you know what? I think I do have it now. It's my seashell collection. And when I was little, because when you go like this, then, they say you can hear the sound of the ocean, which through scientific knowledge, we know why we sound. And if you don't know that knowledge yet, go and check that fun little topic. Okay. And interestingly enough, you may see a visual cue that ties back to the ocean. Okay. In terms of, say, like, a chambered nautilus. Okay. So go check that out if you're watching this today and you're like off of school and you're, bored. Okay. Swan Grace. Okay, 2 swans here. It's really funny. When I took the dog for the walk in the evening yesterday, I took food and then we went to the park and I, had a little picnic, and then I walked her around a little bit, and we see these ducks getting into the pond. And of course, she wanted to go back, and I did happen to see like 1 or 2 that was like white in color. It was like, I didn't notice it right away. I thought maybe it was like some flower or something, so here it says, "You who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty." Yeah. But I was like kind of restraining her from trying to chase after the ducks because there was a guy fishing there, and so I didn't want to like cause too much of a commotion. You're not supposed to disturb the fish. Anyway. So again, this shamanic energy here, this raven, you are the creator and the magician. Use your gifts for good. Exactly. There is power in your wisdom and words. Connect with the elemental spirits. Glide through the void. Claim your place as keeper of the mystery. So you also had keeper of secrets here. Okay, so yeah, how you appear, how you manifest. All right, that's part of the mystery of you collective. All right, that might be part of your legacy. Okay. And part of it is too, is that you can keep a secret as well. So I feel like that's where you're kind of like, you're holding on to certain things and you're not sure if you need to take them with you or not, right? But it's stuff that's inherent for you. So it's like, you're going to know whether or not you're going to need this stuff or not, right? Don't stress about it, right? And I'm really getting the whole kind of like ancient Egypt thing of like what people thought they were going to be taking with them to the next realm. Okay. So, you could do that as part of your vision board as well, right? Like if you had the perfect life collective, what would it look like? I know mine would have my dog in it, right? Lounging in the grass somewhere. Okay. So, yeah, collective. I just feel like whatever this is all very external to you. And if people have been thinking you've had a closed off energy, it's really because they just don't even know you type thing. When people be like, "Oh, where you been?" Blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, I've just been busy working. And it's like they expected something else, and that's their problem. Same with like the body image thing. It's like, oh, you're not blonde. That's their problem. Oh, you don't have this sports car. That's their problem. Right? It is what it is. You don't like it, move on down the line. But it's like they're lingering in this energy thinking that, well, if they keep projecting that onto you because you're not exactly what they wanted, then nobody else will be able to have you because you're not gonna, but that's not really what's going on for you. Okay, and that's why you have this shaman, and that's why you have the Queen of Wands. This is why you have this. That's why it started with the King of Swords. Like, it is what it is, bro. You know, this is giving me also somebody who has like maybe you did some work for somebody and they're not paying the bill. Well, like, legally they can hold on to your property until you pay the bill, right? Like, stuff like that, where it's like, where you're like, you don't want to have to enforce the contract, but when they've just been getting away with it and getting away with it, you're finally standing up and you're saying, no, not this time. You're not running that game on me. And I would never try and run that on the King of Swords, or else you're gonna get, exactly, somebody's in for a rude awakening. You know, and they're going to feel like it's some supernatural event, like, ooh. And it's like, well, what did you think was going to happen when you kept going down this road, bro? So here it says, you are the ancient wise sage. You can shift at will. Mastery is your destiny. Rise with dignity. So you're tapping into ancient wisdom here. Not getting rattled by, you know, newfangled ideas. And I'm not saying you're not open to ideas, but you're not open to scams. Like, what? Because you're not on the front lines protesting against scam artists means you're not aware that scam artists exist? This is how dumb some of these criminals are. Just FYI. So this is why I'm saying, don't be naive and be very aware of how these people are getting benefited, okay? And especially the ones that don't want to work for nothing. They just want to, you know, have you sign over the check. And it's like, you know, I might complain about the cost of my mower repair, but at least somebody who did some work on it and is going to come back to me fixed. You know, it's not somebody just breaking it and then saying, go F yourself now. I mean, like, what? I mean, this is what these people want you to kind of deal with, that. And it's like, like, time to grow up and get out. Tell them to grow up and get out. And some of these folks are grown. That's the thing. Some of these folks are grown. And they're going to be hitting the bricks. You know, can't show up with money. What's that George Thorogood song? Landlady shows up, rent's due. You ever see that movie, Kingpin? Yeah. Here's a message I was getting yesterday too, collective, that extremely selfish people, or people trying to get some kind of gain, especially these narcissists out there, or you know, karmic, toxic folks, they don't care who they're with as long as they're getting what they need out of the situation. And that could include sex. Okay? Because this is what confuses a lot of people. Because these folks will go through all the motions, acting as if, right? But they're doing it so that they can, right, receive some kind of abundance off of you. Okay? That doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. You might have some codependency issues. Just saying. You might have some trauma to work through. I'm not gonna lie. Okay? But it's more common than you think for these people to be out here, right? I mean, all you have to do is turn on 48 Hours or Dateline. Because a lot of these endings where these people act out and end up behind bars for the rest of their lives, it's because their greed could not be contained properly by their own mind. And now they have to deal with the consequences of that. So, and the rest of us get to move on, right? Yeah. Yeah, I also got to. I don't even want to talk about it. I got some in the mail from the courthouse. You know how that goes. I had to go down there before, and then like we sat in the room, and like I was never even called. You know what I mean? But, whew, you know. Anyway. Let's do some monology. Uncle John's band. La da 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 da. All right. My ex used to do that all the time. It's like, it's not in that part yet. It's like premature spooge. That's a good one. So. I just saw him earlier this year. It was only my second time seeing him. Nothing is yet set in stone. That's that water energy, you guys. So if you see it swirling and you're trying to remain focused, I get it. But realize that it might set you off course a little bit or have some choppy waters, but you're still going to get to your destination. Okay? And, you know, maybe along the way you might score a couple coconuts. Okay? So, you know, it might be time to turn that frown upside down. King of Swords. Just saying. When I paint my masterpiece, the answers you need are coming. Yeah, we just wrapped up Gemini season here. Okay. So, whatever you've manifested, okay, whatever was on your mind to like talk about, I feel like by the next full moon here, you're gonna get some answers. Okay. And that could be coming from folks that are like in your tribe. All right. So, the Temperance card is also Sagittarius, which is kind of known as a spicy sign, like romantically. And this is saying a fiery climax approaches with Aries, so you might be dealing with an Aries, especially if you have Sagittarius in your chart, okay? Or this just might be kind of like, yeah, where this person was feeling some sort of way about you, and now you're going to find out about it. Expect powerful change. Eclipse, okay? So yeah, it's like you've been working burning the midnight oil, right? You know, where you barely even see the sun, right? Well, it's like the universe has recognized that and is gonna like be like shower some gifts onto you now with this Ace of Pentacles here. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's what I forgot. It's like, I was gonna stop and get some flowers. Some of the seeds that I planted did not come up in the flower pots, so I was going to plant some more. Figure they're probably like on bargain discount right now, you know. Anyway, yeah, like you'll have flowers around you. You're gonna have money for flowers and birdseed and all sorts of things. So once you surround yourself with all this and like kind of create your little conservatory in a way, it's gonna change you. Like you thought you were fiercely defending what you have now. Now you're like not even remotely considering the thought of anyone disturbing it. And that's why you got this King of Swords. You're like, oh, yeah, I can isolate. I can do that. I don't have to talk to nobody if I don't want to. You know, that type of thing.
Yeah, just keep building and that info will fade out on a big old bill. Somebody shut the door. Where's the door monitor, for God's sake? I thought this was a professional studio.
Prosperity lies ahead. Taurus. Okay, there's that abundance. So it's like it's coming. It's coming whether these little floating talking heads want it or not. Again, it's not for them. They already decided it's not for them, right? You're like, oh, I don't know, that was too much for me. Well, not for you. You're like, that's just right.
They melt into a dream.
Now it lets you celebrate. Celebrate life. I don't know if it is a supermoon coming up, but we have had some rather large moons in the first half of the year. I don't know what the second half of the year is going to bring. So, you know, Cancerian energy is also very close to the moon as well. So, you know, as we get into this full moon cycle collective, don't be afraid of your emotions, but you're also not being driven by them. Okay? All right. La da da, la da da. Stella blue.
There's nothing left to see. There's just a dream and broken. In the end, there's still that song. Was crying like the wind. And every lonely street that's ever been. still a still I've stayed in every blue light hotel. Can't ever try just on those rusty screens of the hotel. Won't let them shine, shine. It all rolls into one, and nothing comes for free. There's nothing you can hold for very long. When you hear that song, crying like the wind, it seems like all this life was just a dream. Still a dream.